Welcome to Salesforce Live Release Readiness. My name's Leanne Reimel, and I'll be here with you all week as we cover all the latest and greatest features from across the clouds in our Winter 18 release. Today, we're talking about the Service Cloud, and we're joined by product managers from across the Service Cloud to deep dive into different features in the Winter 18 release and how you can use them today. Now, I'm sure you've spent time poring over the release notes, reading the blog posts, probably, hopefully, getting hands-on in your sandbox and your pre-release environments to experience some of these new features and learn how you can use them. But today we can delve in even deeper and learn from our product managers, see demos, and ask questions. So I'd like to kick it off to our community rockstar, Elna Miller, to let you know how you can ask questions and engage with us throughout the broadcast.
All right, thank you very much, Leanne. Welcome everybody to Day 2, Service Cloud. I want to just mention to everybody that we are going to be taking questions live on the air, as many as we can handle, as many as I can organize. And we would love for you to post your questions and shout outs either in Twitter or in the Release Readiness group in the Success community. Now, the group in the community is probably the best place to post those meaty questions because we can continue the conversation, provide you resources and such even after the broadcast is over and going into the coming days. So keep that in mind, but please keep the shout outs coming on Twitter or wherever you're comfortable. And I'm really excited to see what we have today. So Leanne, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Elna. And yeah, I agree. I love seeing the Twitter shout-outs, but some product answers require more than 140 characters to dive into and get more clarity. So before we get started, a couple logistics items. This session will be recorded, as are all of our release readiness sessions. So if you have to step away from your desk, if you want to watch this later, review some of the awesome demos we're going to see, share this with a colleague or a friend, you can find all the recordings for this week's release readiness as well as previous release readiness at the page on the bottom of the screen, which is also where you joined today's session. So before we get started, we are hearing from product managers, and I love hearing from product managers because we get to know more about the features in this release, but also we sometimes hear about future releases and what's on the product roadmap for that feature area, which means that it's important to take into account our forward-looking statement. This means that all Salesforce customers should make all purchasing decisions based on currently available technology. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started and meet our panel.
Hi, I'm John Pappas, and I'm going to be speaking about setup and trials.
Hi, my name is Vince Pham, Product Manager for Core Service Channels. Really excited to talk about agent productivity and case management. Thanks,
Vince. I'm Purvi Srivastav, and I'm also super excited to bring Live Agent to Lightning and talk about our roadmap and release features for Omnichannel.
Hi, I'm Gary Brandaria. I'll be demoing today Field Service Lightning.
Awesome. So we're so excited to have you all today. And one point to clarify as well, right before we get started, is we will be covering a lot of Lightning features. And that's because that's really where a lot of our innovation is happening. It's where all of our Salesforce innovation is happening. So want to make sure that those expectations are set and that everyone joining is ready to hear about all of the latest and greatest in Lightning and all of the features coming to Service Cloud. So I'll kick it off to you, John.
Great. Thank you. So before we get started, I do want to pause and say thank you to our customers, to our partners. We build our product for you. So we depend on your feedback and your input. So we really do want to extend a thank you to all of our customers and partners for providing us that feedback so we can weave it back into future roadmaps. So I'm going to be talking about trials and setup, and I'm very excited to talk about this because this is actually the first time that we are bringing trials and setup to a release readiness. And in the coming release, in the Winter 18 release, we are launching a next generation of our trial experience. And the trial is a great way to experience what is Lightning Service out of box. How are the features supposed to be configured for best practices? So the trial is really a great place to start. We're providing you a short link here to give the trial a try for yourself. So you can visit that short link. Just to note that if you visit it today and try the trial now, you're going to get our previous release. On October 15th, the newest version of our trial will be out, and you'll be able to try all the things that I'll be demoing today. So in the new trial, we're going to have 3 additional walkthrough experiences around macros, omnichannel, and utility bar. We also provided an in-app feedback widget so that you can give us that feedback. I'm also going to show you some of the setup home, and the dynamic dashboards that we provide there. So without further ado, let's jump straight into a demo. And after you've signed up for your trial, this is the first thing you'll see. This is called a welcome mat. So you have on the right side of this welcome mat, you have a whole list of different walkthrough experiences to show you all about the greatest features of Service Cloud. So you see knowledge, we have macros, we have omni-channel communities, and how to get set up quickly. So to give you a quick overview of how this works, I'm going to jump into one of these experiences called Power Up the Utility Bar. And I'm just going to quickly click through these just to show you how this workflow goes. But we show you the history component. We actually have you open up a case and show you how it's easy to get back to that case. And then we're going to close out and come back to the welcome mat. So after you've gone through these walkthrough experiences, I do want to show you the service setup home. So in the top right, if you click this link, you'll see Service Setup. And this will load our setup experience designed specifically for admins. So this is a consolidated list of everything that you need to see to manage your service organization. So at the top, you see a set of panels called Lightning Setup Flows. And these things help you get started on setting up these particular channels or these particular features. So in the next release, we have enhancements to the knowledge setup flow and the community setup flow. You can also see a dashboard here to understand what your today's performance looks like inside your org. And of course, if you're getting set up, there's a nice list of recommended setup steps. I'm going to finish my demo here and point out this leave feedback link here in the top right. So we built this for you so that you can send us feedback directly about how the trial experience went for you. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like, and what you'd like to see in the future. And we will do our best to bring that to you.
That's awesome. I am super excited for the hashtag #TryTheTrial. And I'm hoping there is more on Twitter with this particular hashtag. That's cool, John. Love it.
It's a very good point. The trial is really a great place to see what is Service Cloud out of box. And that has traditionally been kind of difficult to do. Talking about the future in our roadmap, of course, you've probably heard about Trailhead. So we're going to be weaving a lot of that great Trailhead experience into the future version of our trials. We're going to continue to build out more walkthrough experiences. So Omni Supervisor, Live Agent, Live Message, all of those great features that are coming to Lightning, we will build experiences so that you can try them out. In setup, we're also going to be creating more Lightning setup flows to help you configure those challenging features to configure. So you'll see omni-channel coming soon, and then allowing you to customize that service setup home in the future.
This is amazing. I mean, I think we've all had the experience of downloading some of the longer setup PDFs to set up certain features across the platform. And I mean, this is huge as far as really optimizing what an admin's experience is for setting up features and helping them roll it up to their users faster. This is so exciting. Thank you, John.
I actually want to also call out that the trial and setup experience has made admin's journey so easy. It just goes on to prove how much, as a company, we are investing in each profile of a Salesforce user, be it agents, be it admins, or be it managers. And I think you drastically reduced the number of nodes that were there with the classic setup. I think there's been a 40 to 60% reduction. So that's great, you know, like you save time in doing everything that was required to set up a complex Salesforce procedure.
That's right.
Alna, do we have any questions from Twitter or the success community or any reactions?
Well, I'd like to clarify just a couple of small things. One is, can you just restate again when this is going to be available, when you can actually get this version of the trial experience for Service Cloud?
Yes. So this version that I just showed you will be available on October 15th. If you were to start today, you would see a previous version of that trial with 5 walkthrough experiences. Once October 15th hits, you'll see 8, and you'll see the feedback widget and all the great features that we have there.
And who is this really designed for? Is this mainly for sort of newer customers who are just getting up and running on Service Cloud, or could, let's say you already have Service Cloud, you're an admin and you're on Classic Service Cloud, and maybe you're looking for guidance on how to set up Service Cloud in Lightning. Would this be something you might want to spin up and kind of help guide your way?
Absolutely. So it is for new customers, but it also was built for existing customers as well. Again, this is really the best way to learn about all the greatest features, the newest features that are coming in Lightning Service, and to experience them as if they were out of box. So yes, it's a very good learning tool for existing customers.
Great. Now, another pretty common question I think we get a lot is, as an admin, can I create my own walkthrough experiences for our admin trial?
That is a question that we get all the time. Unfortunately, we do not have it on the short-term roadmap to allow admins to create their own experiences. It is a conversation that is broader than Service Cloud, so I am working with my sales partners and my platform partners to figure out how to create an admin experience so that you can create your own walkthroughs. So it is on our long-term roadmap, but it isn't on the short term.
Right. And a couple questions about Service Setup Home. The first question is it available to existing customers, or is it only in this trial? And then the second one is, can you customize that Service Setup Home?
That's a great question. So everyone who is an existing Service Cloud customer has the new Service Setup Home. So it's in that gear in the top right. You click that and you should see that item there. So everyone should have that, all existing customers as well. It's not just a trial thing. And to speak to your question about customization, you cannot customize the dashboard today, but we do plan on allowing you to customize that in the future.
So it sounds like for Service Cloud, for that trial experience, there's more coming in the roadmap, and there's more for admins to get their hands on with today, and then also just kind of stay tuned to see as it continues to be built out and more features are rolled out.
Exactly.
Very exciting.
I just want to take one quick moment just to remind everybody about the hashtag, because I forgot to mention it in the opening. So please use the hashtag Salesforce Live when you're posting in either Twitter, especially in Twitter, or in the Success community in the Release Readiness group. And also just a quick comment from Hannah. She's also looking for, using this experience for an existing instance, beyond the trial. Definitely a lot of interest in that. So a little feedback for you there.
Awesome. Well, this is something that I think our admins are going to be excited about, and it'll be great to see once they get their hands on and start setting up different Service Cloud features and how much this really shortens their experience, really, and helps them set these features up and roll them out to customers faster. Awesome. Well, thank you, John. So let's continue on our Service Cloud journey.
Again, my name is Vince. Well, folks, winter is here. Lightning is no longer a thing out in the horizon in the distant future. With Winter 18, we've taken a lot of steps to close a lot of the major gaps between Classic and Lightning. It's been out there for a couple of releases. We've been getting lots of feedback from our customers, from you guys, from Idea Exchange. And as an example of that, we've closed out some of the major items. For example, favorites. Even though Favorites was available in Lightning Experience, with Winter 18, we're making Favorites available from Lightning Console as well. So you'll be able to bookmark your favorite accounts, contacts, and cases. Also, in Winter 18, we are making case milestones enabled in Lightning. Now, case milestones...
You want to take a moment to clap on this one. That's big. That's huge.
Now, case milestones comes with it with service contracts, with entitlements. And this is an example where we actually went a little bit above and beyond. One of the feedbacks we got for how things were in Classic was, milestones were kind of difficult to close out. Well, fear no longer. With milestones in Lightning, it's just one click. Case clone. So this kind of falls under the bucket of one of those, we didn't have those yet? But with a product as long as Salesforce, we'll have a couple of these every single release. But the good news is, now we've got it. We've got case clone. Enhanced email capabilities. This is an area where you'll see a lot of improvements. For example, within the email composer, you'll be able to pull up Classic email templates. And I know this is a big pain point for a lot of you admins who have hundreds and hundreds of Classic templates. Never fear, you'll be able to pull them in within Lightning Experience now. In addition to that, agents will also be able to access merge fields, not only from the template creation process, but they'll also be able to access them when composing emails as well. And lastly, we also introduced a notion of recipients to CC and BCC so that when you're creating emails, you'll actually be able to associate those emails against contacts and leads. Now, sub-tab navigation rules. This is another one of those small features, but heavily used in our classic console. This will allow you to configure your Lightning console so that your cases can be associated with accounts, so that when you're tabbing between various workspaces of account to account, all your cases will be moving along with them. Now, I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea that everything in Winter 18 was all about just copying over classic features. We also took some opportunity to go above and beyond, and I think you'll be very happy to see what we've got in store for you with macros and the macro builder to be seen in the demo. And lastly, we've also continued investments around our Lightning components. We've introduced a couple new Lightning components in Winter 18, for example, the accordion component, which your developers can take and create a really fancy agent-rich experience so that they can click on one accordion to expand and collapse so you can really maximize your desktop real estate. And also, if you're a CTI user, you'll be able to use the click-to-dial feature as well. So you'll be able to use CTI to initiate phone calls from any Lightning component, again, provided that you use CTI. Well, enough with the slideware. Let's move over to the demo and let's have some fun. OK, so here we are in Lightning Service Console. Let me just touch base on a quick detour over to the top right to my favorite section over here. And let's pull up the case I've got set up for the demo. First thing I want to draw your attention to is we've got sub-tabs of the case associated with the account above. So if you move back and forth, you'll be able to see different cases. Over here is a 3-page layout. On the left side, I'll just draw your attention to our related record components. So we've got case details, we've got contacts, we've got other cases, we've got account details. One of the features I failed to mention earlier was that in this release, we also made available read-only fields. So you'll be able to see the case number, you'll see last modified, but what's really cool is you'll be able to see a shoe. So this shoe here is actually a lookup field, a formula field, and this is made available only in Winter 18 now. So you'll be able to see on a case, assets and things like that only in Winter 18. So next thing I want to show you is the milestones in the top right. So you see that we've already got the milestone component. I've got 13 hours and 35 minutes, so I think we should get started on this case. Okay, this case came in. Looks like it came from a Courtney Williams. She had some issues with her running shoes, loved the brand, had a great experience with it, but it came scuffed. So let's see what we can do. Let's go into the middle where we've got our quick actions, and let's start drafting an email. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is in the to field now, we actually have defined a predefined ID so that we can actually pull in Courtney Williams' contact ID. If you wanted to, you could also search for other contacts, and they'll also show up here as well. Okay. Down here is where we added some additional capabilities around email enhancements. So starting from the left, you can attach a file, you can insert a merge field, but let me go ahead and insert a template. Down in the drop-down for templates, you'll see that, yay, we've got classic templates. So you'll see all the templates that you've set up before in Classic. They're fully supported, whether they're HTML, plain text, custom letterheads, whatnot. But let's go back and use a Lightning template. So I'll go ahead and insert this just default case response. You'll see in this that we've got a merge field of contact.name. But if you wanted to, we can also go in and insert another merge field. So one of the pain points is sometimes having to go back and look up what the merge field is. You don't have to do that anymore. You can use this pop-up to actually just pick whatever you want, and it will insert into the body itself. Next thing, let's go ahead and send this out. Great, email is sent. So the next thing in my process here is now that I've sent out the email, I should probably update the case comments, update the status so everyone knows what's going on. But let's be honest, that's a lot of clicks, right? So how about we use a macro instead? So down here in the bottom left in the utility bar, we've got macros. So let me go ahead and run one and show you what's going on behind the scenes. We will want to try add case comment and put case on hold. So all you have to do is double click, and I can take a coffee break.
That's really fast.
Yep. So let me just walk through what happened here. This macro selected the active case tab, inserted into the body that we share the response with the customer, waiting to hear back, submit the action, change the status to on hold, submit the action, and in this case, I've queued up another email, but I haven't sent it, so I'll just leave that alone and discard it. Okay, macros will save you so many clicks, and super excited to have this available in this release. Now, the next thing I'll show you is how to create one yourself. So let's go into the macro utility bar again, and let's go ahead and pull up this one. You'll see that there are some instructions already here, and I'll just clear them out. And what you'll see next here is the macro builder. So this is where we took a couple steps above and beyond what we did in Classic, where rather than having to go through a form where you select, what to update here and there, you can just do it all in one place. So in this case, let's walk through the same process of what we just did. The case view, let's make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see a little bit better. All you have to do is click on your quick action, and you'll see that on the right side, under the instructions, it's updating as you're clicking in. So you can go into case comment. Let's go in here. Let's put something in the body. Let's select in the body, updated customer. Great. Let's just change the status. Oh, let's go back, actually. I forgot to submit. So case comment, let's hit save. Great, that's submitted now. And then let's go back to change status. Select the status. What do you want to do? Change it to on hold. Hit save. And now we've got the instructions. Save, and you're done. That's it.
Easy.
Easy. Wow. Now let me go back and show you that everything's coming from the utility bar, which is fine. But I also want to show that macros is also an object on its own. So it comes with all the other goodness that you get with any other object. So you have a macro home. In the macro home, you can see your recently viewed macros. You can see all the macros in the org, as well as all the macros that you own, and you can create your own list to use. That's one of the beauties of building on the platform. The next thing I want to show you is components on the right side. So as I mentioned earlier, we had the accordion component and the CTI component. So over on the right where you see returns and exchanges, as well as request exchange, this is all just one component. So what I have here is 2 built out, but you can create 3, 4, or 5, or however many you want. When you click on the request exchange, that expands one and closes the other. So you can see this is a great way to really maximize your desktop real estate in case you're trying to maximize that. Also, in the request exchange blob, I also have a phone number here in the bottom. So again, if you have a CTI provider, and what I'm using here is just a demo, a CTI adapter, but if you click on this, you can now initiate a phone call, and off and away you go, and you're done. Lastly, let's close things off by updating the case milestone. So it's still running. As I mentioned before, all you need to do is click it. And now the milestone's complete, and we're done.
Service Cloud and the console updates are so exciting, and they're exciting for our Service Cloud admins, and really they're exciting for all of our admins, right? Because some of these features are going to be available for every Lightning console that you build or that you're using. So macros is an area where, I really think all admins should spend some time playing with macros and developer environments and getting comfortable with them, because it's going to be such a huge time saver for all of our users that are high efficiency users, which at this point I feel like is almost every type of end user needs a really highly efficient environment. So super excited about the console updates. Thank you.
Yeah, so let me take you through a couple roadmap items. So a lot of excitement around macros. Moving forward, we're going to continue doubling down on macros. So what that means is we'll expand the footprint. Currently today, macros will only work in Lightning Console, but we'll work on making that available also in the Lightning Standard Navigation as well. Macros is also initially supported in cases, contacts, and leads, and custom objects, but we'll want to make sure that that's also available in the standard objects as well. As you noticed, a lot of the theme here is all about productivity. So whatever it takes to reduce a couple clicks here and there, whatever makes it so that your agents can finish their job a lot easier, we'll be continually investing in that area. So a couple examples of that are going to be around mass quick actions. So taking our current quick action framework, but imagine being in a list view and being able to check multiple cases and apply that quick action to all of them. So it's a little bit different nuance from a macro because you'll be able to control at real time how you want to update those cases. Quick text, here's another one of those items that we've got over in Classic, and we'll want to bring that over into Lightning as well. And another similar item is workspace components, which will allow you within Lightning Console to have like that persistent like highlight panel so that no matter which tab you're in, you can always see that same consistent experience. And then there's also a lot more to do around email. So like being able to search for an email. That'd be nice. And then we're also looking to provide you with email autosave capability. And I know this is a huge pain point. You know, you're working through an email and all of a sudden it goes away because you got logged out or you just went away. So we'll want to also provide some sort of autosave capability for you guys in the future as well. And lastly, can't be complete without some CTI tidbit. So we're also going to provide click-to-dial support for Visualforce components as well. So this is really intended for you admins, again, who have just a lot of investment in existing Visualforce pages with phone numbers. We'll make it so that it's a lot easier to move over to Lightning without having to redo that and move from Visualforce to Lightning components.
So I think our audience is also excited. I will admit I checked Twitter. I am seeing lots of GIFs coming through, especially about cloning. That's case clone is something that our customers are super excited about. But let's deep dive into some more questions from Twitter and from the success community. Elna, what are our attendees asking?
Yeah, the shout outs you mentioned are from Jennifer, Francisco, and I have to say this name because I like it, the Great Manduso. So great endorsements for case clone. And also Carlos thought the milestones was awesome too. So thank you very much for sharing that. And I do have some questions. So Hannah asked, can you disable the manual completion of milestones?
No, we cannot disable it. It's available, but we can take a look at that.
Great feedback, thank you. And then Jeff was wondering if email capabilities includes sending dashboards to outside users or contacts.
So currently with our email today, the main way is to send through links and such. We'll look to enhance that moving forward to not just do links, have attachments, but also do dashboards in the future. But primarily it's links right now.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking about dashboard snapshots, which is a very common chatter feature. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Richard was asking, can milestones be triggered by other fields being updated?
Good question. So milestones today is for cases specifically, but they work within that case framework, similar to the same way it's working in Classic. So the milestones can be defined in the same way. You just go in and set up, your criteria for how you'd like that to be created.
All right, we have a few more. How much time do we have? We have a few more questions.
Let's do 2 more questions.
Okay. Robin, is the Service Console totally customizable in Lightning as it is in Classic?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. It's fully customizable, and this is one of the areas where I'm really excited because not only is it fully customizable, it's so much easier to customize. Rather than having to go through and create Visualforce pages one by one, all you need to do is either create a component, download a component, add them from the App Exchange. There's so many different ways to set up your console, and it's extremely easy to do. We really moved the paradigm to clicks, not codes for the admins.
Right. All right, people are saying macros, where can I learn more about macros? And there's one question about macros in the Sales Cloud. You want to catch the broadcast we did yesterday to find out about that. And we'll also give you a link to that, Phil. And then also, Rick will give you some resources on how to learn more about building macros in Lightning. And is there anything on Trailhead about that yet, or are we still?
Yes, there is. There's definitely trailheads for everything. And I think I saw a trailhead for macros the other day. So yeah, please check it out. And another way to also learn about this is, from John's stuff, try out a trial org and play with it yourself. It's perfectly safe. Highly recommend it.
That's right. On October 15th, when the new trial goes out, it will come with a macro already defined. So you can just start the trial, double-click on that macro and see it execute, and then you can go in and edit it just the same way that Vince did.
Yeah, and for those of you asking for resources, there is a trailhead for everything. And if you're looking for the trailhead, it's a module called Service Cloud Macros. So it's a great place to get hands-on with macros and learn more. Wonderful. Well, let's continue on. And if we didn't get to your question yet, we want to make sure we have enough time for all of the content because we've got a lot of amazing demos and content to hear today and to learn from. But we will be revisiting some of the questions at the end of today's broadcast. And then also, as Elna said, no question left behind. We'll be making sure to follow up with those on the Success community and Twitter as well. So with that, I'd like to continue on with Purvi for learning more about Service Cloud.
Awesome. So I'm going to be talking about Live Agent Chat and Omnichannel, both. I'd like to start with saying Vince really gave you a full-fledged view into how console case management is helping us reach the Lightning milestones that we planned for when we started the Lightning journey 2 years ago. And honestly, console is the heart of Service Cloud. But I'm going to be talking about the digital channels that pump that heart. So they are equally important. And the big news of the moment is Live Agent Chat would be GA in Lightning. I am super, super proud of the team for bringing such innovation to the Lightning platform. So when we say Lightning, a lot of times customers and partners saying it's only a user experience layer change that's happening. And while we are innovating on our user experience, we are also adding new features. Macros is a good example, knowledge is a good example, and now Live Agent Chat, where we've rehauled the whole component, provided you enough context with your past history that you would be able to solve your case with like a decreased handle time. Plus, we got in all the features, all the productivity tools of the classic Live Agent back into the Lightning console. So Live Agent is one of our big release of the moment. Like to drill in a little bit into features. We are coming out with a multi-line edit box, functionalities like hyperlinks and tab notification once you get a new message. They're all going to be available. The productivity enhancements would include transferring chat either to a skill or to an agent, similar to the way that you did in a traditional Live Agent Chat and Classic. We'll also have file transfers, again initiated by an agent, or you could do an image transfer, a text transfer, a record transfer, a case, or a contact feed. But the important thing is past chats tab, because that's something that's new. So a lot of time what happened is we appended transcripts to provide context into what has your agent worked on in the past, or what sort of customer requests have you received in the past. Now that's all available with a tab change. So you are able to hit the past chats tab and go with all the history of this particular customer, all the chats, all the conversations in one single view. And that is huge, because that is where the power of Salesforce lies. It's in the 360-degree view of a customer and providing the power of platform. And we are making best use of both of those, I like to say, functions. Continuing on, we do have sneak peek and flag raise, which will provide help and support to the agents in case they want to see what the customer is typing before they actually press, so they can be ready to answer that question proactively. For flag raise, typically in a call center scenario, agents need help with their supervisors, and we don't want them to throw paper planes, because let's just face it, that's a very historical way of doing things. So we have this functionality called flag raise, where they can act and ask for help from the supervisors by just a toggle of a click. So that's also coming in winter. You can block visitors based on their IP address, and then all other functionalities that were present in the classic Live Agent are going to be present with this winter version. So all in all, it's a full-baked release. again, try it out. It should be in your sandboxes right now, so there's no harm in trying it out. And as John said, October 15th or October 16th, depending upon your org update, you will have the fully fledged winter release with a functional live agent chat next month. So that's what I am super excited about, but my excitement doesn't die because I have omni-channel routing to talk about. And omni-channel is kind of the power of productivity in Service Console. With our winter release, we invested in a lot of areas, broadly lightning, productivity, and then enhancing our partner support. So I'll just like to spend few moments going through each of those areas, since this release completes our narrative for omnichannel in Lightning. We started in summer, so it was a 2-release effort for us, but I am super proud to bring the product to market in such a huge way. So the highlight would be that omnichannel routing is GA in Lightning. So everything that you could do in Classic, you are able to do in Lightning. Omnichannel Supervisor, that is a real-time operational dashboard for your managers to provide them insights into where their agents are spending their time, what are they actually working on, and where are those flags, or what do you not anticipate your agents to do. All that is available in Lightning with a better version in winter. Omnichannel APIs are also going to be in Lightning, again a beta. And I was going to go back to what Vince was saying. We have click to dial for our CTI partners. We have these APIs that would help you sync present statuses or availability between different systems. And then you have the omnichannel routing all in Lightning. The pieces of puzzles have all fit in finally. And then we continue to provide new features with Supervisor Console. This is big. The visibility option is really big for customers in Europe, where you have requirements of different BPOs working in the same org. And what we have provided is a configurable setup option where you can define which manager can look at which agents, eliminating the risk of all your agents being viewable by all managers. So definitely check out this feature again. Now I wanna focus a little bit on external routing. External routing was first put out in a closed beta in summer release, and it's going open beta with our winter release. The good thing is right now we have all the capabilities that a partner would require in order to attach or integrate themselves with omnichannel. So what we've essentially done with external routing is provided customers the flexibility of options that they can utilize to integrate with Omni or routing or digital channels. And it starts right with Salesforce doing all the digital channels as well as routing except telephony, to all the digital channels being routed by a partner, but Salesforce executing that routing decision. And where that is helpful is the goodness of Salesforce console stays with you. So you can utilize a different routing system, but you'll still have the console, you still have Omni Supervisor, you still have those productivity features. And that is what we've given to our customers. So you decide what you want. And the two small enhancements that I want to call out real quick with external routing is, first, we've provided more entities that would be streamable with the public streaming APIs if you create a push topic. I want to call out agent work, which was kind of a blocker with our summer release, and we've eliminated that. The second thing I want to call out is capacity management. So in earlier versions, while we were recommending that if you are going with a partner routing system, you have capacity management, you should have capacity management being taken care by the partner. Now, again, we have more options. Omni is going to account for capacity if you create an agent work directly in the system. So if you decide to have Omni manage capacity because we are already managing availability, that's also possible. So try it out, try external routing. It is not under a PM perm anymore, so it's easy to try out. And again, I've been in conversations with so many partners over last 6 months, and there is definitely a very strong sentiment on how we are pushing the power of platform to Salesforce products as a whole. So this is going to be really big for us. And lastly, before we jump into a demo, I do want to call out small platform updates. We have provided support for scenarios when we run into a misrouting scenario. So now if you accidentally misroute a work item to an agent, or that agent thinks that they are not skilled for or suitable to work on a particular item, it doesn't lose its SLA on going back to the queue. So you can actually use APIs to update the age of a particular work item so that you're not hitting SLAs because of this misrouting. That was big for a few of our enterprise customers, and now this whole new feature is available. So again, full packed release for Omnichannel. I want to really quickly go into a small demo and show you how the live agent chat is going to work in Lightning. So here we have our Lightning console that Vince demoed to you. What I'm going to do is check what status I'm in Omnichannel. Looks like I am on online chat, which seems to be the correct status. I'm going to go to my demo website real quick here. And you can see that women's jackets on our 25% sale. So now that's big, right? I'm going to Park City in November to ski, and I need a jacket so badly. So what I'm going to do is start a chat with an expert, because come on, who doesn't need styling advice when it's free, right? So let's go right here. And I am going to use our amazing Snap-ins product that enables you to embed help on any website or mobile app in a declarative format. And I would start a chat right here. Once I do that, I would see that the chat has popped up in my Omnichannel console. Now, the way I have configured it is either the agent can decline or accept that chat, but again, it's auto accept is also an option. So a lot of our customers, if they decide to go with auto accept, that's also available in Lightning. I'm going to go ahead and accept this chat. And once I do that, my experience totally changes for the new live agent console. So on the right, you can see all the related components that I would need to resolve this issue. And in the center, you can see the new chat experience. So let me go right here and type up a message. And of course, like any other person, I will go with the sale jackets. Once I go back to the console, I can see all these multi-line messages coming in. And as an agent, I can provide all information that is needed to resolve this issue. Some of the productivity features that I do want to acknowledge are attaching a file. So in this case, as an agent, I can ask my contact to attach a file. And once I do that, the contact can go ahead and select a file from a document or whatever file you want to select, and then attach the same here to transfer to an agent. I'm going to cancel this transfer because we don't want to attach the wrong file. Transfer to a chat is another option. Now I don't have any other agents online, so I cannot do the transfer right now, but you could do a transfer to an agent or a transfer to a skill, both using the same component. Block visitor is something when you get bad chats or chats from unrecognizable sources, you are able to block that visitor based upon the IP address. And then finally, flag raise is asking for proactive help. And once you raise a flag, you are able to see that flag in the supervisor console, and the supervisor can help you out. So those are all the features that we are bringing in terms of productivity. However, the area I want to pay attention to is past chats. So if I look down, there's all this information or chats information which Courtney Williams, the same customer who asked Vince for some help, she had conducted with all the agents in the past. And this again provides you a lot of information to give that personalized help to each of your agents. Now, I want to quickly jump into Omni-Channel Supervisor. You see Gotham here. Gotham is one of our product managers who's always been on release readiness. So as a tribute to Gotham, we've continued to let him be an agent on this particular org.
So he's with us in spirit.
Yes, he's with us in spirit. So you see that the chat I just accepted is showing right here. My workload is 15, and each unit of chat counts as 1. So I'm 1 by 15, or 7% of my capacity. I can drill down into this particular agent and see the current work that I'm working on, along with some of the recent statuses I have been in. But I can also go back all the way in time up to last year and see what all my agents have worked in, or what all they have declined to work on given the capacity constraints. And this, again, opens up reporting enhancements when you connect the system to workforce management, for example, because these are the historical information and those are the projected information, and we are trying to bridge a gap between both sets of information. So that's all for the demo here. I'm going to quickly jump back into slides to talk about our roadmap. And since these areas are very connected, the way we have divided the roadmap is in these 4 horizontal areas. Omnichannel routing is going very strong, and with the future releases, we are going to enhance and bring skills-based routing to life. Now, I know there is a lot of excitement in partners and customers regarding skills or attributes, so it's coming. It's coming as soon as Spring Safe Harbor, and it's going to be big. With Omni Supervisor, we want to make sure that we don't constrain you to more of a viewing dashboard. We want to make it transactional. So we are going to bring all the features like monitoring and whisper sort of actions to Omni Supervisor. And then admin actions like right now you can change availability status from within the supervisor console. What we want to do is bring more actions like changing agents from one queue to the other, or increasing capacity, and all that should be more power to managers. With Live Agent Chat, while we've invested a lot in Lightning, we want to introduce smaller features like file transfer that is on both ends, and then auto greetings and small enhancements like those. And of course, with Lightning, we kind of went big bang. We are done with a lot of our features, but live message is the one that I want to draw attention to because that's what is coming in the future releases. And of course, we want to invest more on a Lightning setup. John called out Omni LSF is coming very soon. So we're going to continue to enhance and modify those LSFs. And with that, I am ready to take questions.
Wonderful. That was an awesome demo. Tons on the roadmap, tons to show for all of our Service Cloud admins and customers out there. And I've been seeing a lot of great questions coming in through the community and through Twitter. So I'd like to hand it off to you, Elna, to share some of the questions with us.
All right, will do. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of interest in this, and as a result, a lot of questions. So let's see how many we can get through. And remember, if we don't get to your question, we will follow up with you afterwards, either in whichever medium you posted in. So Michael was asking, first of all, will Live Agent and Omnichannel be available in the Lightning Service Console?
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes.
Okay. And then just a point of clarification for Powell and Kimberly. They want to make sure they understand if Omnichannel and Live Agent are something that you need to purchase separately, or are they included out of the box?
So omnichannel is definitely included out of the box with a Service Cloud license for all editions. Live Agent is an add-on, but it is included in our UE edition.
So UE would be Unlimited Edition, for
Yes,
those of you
that
who
is
aren't
correct.
familiar with the acronyms there. And then Kimberly is asking, am I right in assuming you don't have to use omnichannel to use Live Agent?
Well, in Lightning, you have omnichannel routing or Live Agent chats. In Classic, you don't have to. We have omnichannel. We have Live Agent routing. But with the move to Lightning, we want to focus more on Omni.
Gotcha. And then Derek is asking, will the omnichannel API allow us to see how many agents are available online versus away?
Yeah, so what we provide are two set of APIs, get present status and set present status. You can definitely pull and get the present status, but you could also update the status if you want using the other API. So yes.
Related to that,
Yeah.
I highly encourage you guys at Dreamforce, or if you're looking for a CTI partner, to ask them a couple questions. Now, with Portby's APIs here, you're really looking at enabling awesome blended agent scenarios now. So scenarios where if I'm on a phone call, I am unavailable to receive chats, or vice versa. Once you've received a certain number of chats, maybe I don't receive a phone call. So highly, highly encourage you guys when talking to CTI partners to see how far along are they in this integration with omnichannel.
Right.
Great suggestion, thanks. And question from Mark, can you route phone calls to be pushed into omnichannel, and is that what the external routing is for?
That just was what Vince was saying, so bang on point.
Okay.
So this is a blended agent scenario. We don't have our own telephony, so we would utilize a CTI partner for this. But what you could do is when you pop up the telephony call inside our softphone and console, you could simultaneously create agent work that is routed via omnichannel.
Great. Next one's from Carl. Are all the Lightning omnichannel betas in Winter 18 open betas, or are there any special steps that you need to enable those?
No special steps, all are open beta.
Great. Robin, in Live Agent Lightning, can the agent send a file to a customer?
The agent can request a file from a customer. The other part is coming in future releases.
Right.
So I think we have time for one more question, and then we want to make sure we get through all of our content today.
Okay, one more from Phil. He's asking, is there a dynamic spell checker in service chat for the agent?
Well, for spell check, we kind of rely on the browser functionality, so we don't have an inbuilt spell check. So I encourage you to use that.
Wonderful. Well, and we will come back and revisit some of the questions at the end with Q&A. And again, no question left behind. We'll be going through the community group and making sure we answer all the questions. But awesome demo, great detail into everything coming in Service Cloud Lightning. And it's time to kick it off for our final presenter. And I know you've got a great demo coming as well. So I'd like to hand it off to you, Gary.
Thank you, Porby. So actually here for the current release for Field Service, I'm pretty excited because actually we have more and more customers going live on Field Service Lightning. So we get a lot of daily feedback actually about the product, and we are using those feedback to build new features. In this release, we have three main topics: mobile, score, and scheduling. So we are covering really the end-to-end process. The first, on the mobile side, that is a big announcement, is that we are getting actually Android GA, which means that, yes, your technician will be able to go on the Play Store, download the app, and use the app on Android. Up to you to decide if you use iOS or Android in the end. We have also multiple signatures, so that is available only on iOS right now. It will be available in Android a bit later on. What multiple signature is allowing you to do is basically getting the technician to sign the service report as well as the customer, or maybe to track multiple customer signature. So that was as well a request from many customers, and we are delivering it for this release. Now on the core side of things, we have service crews. So service crews are actually a team of service resource or field service technicians that are working together and that need to be dispatched together. So we have created the data model right now. You can manually dispatch those teams, and on Spring 18 you will be able to automatically schedule those teams. Asset hierarchy, asset BOM, bill of material. Basically what you can do there is that actually if you look at one asset, you want to know what are the components under that asset. You will have a very easy view to see that out of the box. I will demo that. By the way, all the orange items are the one I will demo during the demo today. Service contracts are now available in Lightning, which means that actually for field service users, they don't have to stay in Classic anymore. They can move to Lightning fully if they were using service contract. Otherwise, they should be on Lightning already today. Now, two other features that are on the core side we are releasing as a pilot is that we have self-serve appointment booking, which means that actually our customer or your customers will be able to go to your website, book the appointment without having to call and disturb your agent. On Einstein Vision, we provide that since a while now as a pilot, and we are still welcoming customers in this pilot. If you want to do a little bit of innovative things, you can do Einstein, of course. And what you can do there is actually get your technician to take pictures of parts, and then Einstein will decide, okay, this part is, for example, a mug. And it's helping the technician to recognize parts that he would not know about otherwise. On the scheduling side, we have 4 big features. We have designated time slot, which is in fact allowing you to say, for a specific time of the day or of the week, I want to do only those type of specific work. Example, if I want to do only maintenance job in the morning, that's now available. So you can define that in the operating hours and block that time for maintenance. The 3 others, I will demo that during today, but complex work actually allows you to create dependencies and pretty complex dependencies between service appointments. Multi-day work is allowing you to schedule multi-day service appointment, multi-day job. We are supporting that since a while now, but we are improving a lot on that side. And we have also a new UI for handling those jobs. And the last cool feature that we have is map polygons. I will show that during the demo. So let's jump into the demo. So today I'm starting as a service contract manager. I'm on a service contract, and you can see that I'm in Lightning. So as a service contract manager, I want to see the status for the asset that is covered by this contract. So we'll go on the asset, and you see that this is a pump, and actually I can go and view the asset hierarchy. So if I click on that button, by the way, that button needs to be, it's a Lightning button, so you just need to add it on the page layout. And you will be able to access a full bill of material of your device. Now I see here that this pump is installed, but there is a minor fault on the motor. So I want to do a little bit of preventive maintenance here and maybe create a new work order. I will create a new work order with the preventive maintenance work type. Important feature that I didn't mention on the slide, but still very handy for many of our customers, is that service report templates were used based on the work type. That's still the case, but if you want, you can override it. The use case there is that you might have some customers that are asking for very, very specific service report template, so we allow you to do that very easily directly on the work order. I'm saving the work order right now, and I will show you a little bit more about service appointment. So I will use that work order. An appointment has been created automatically for me, service appointment, and I will make it a bit complex today. So I will create complex work for this appointment. What I will do is create dependencies between appointments. So I want, for example, to say those 2 jobs need to happen at the same time, and 1 job needs to happen after or before this. So I will do that very quickly, and we have a visual way now to do this. So I will add the current service appointment should start at the same time as another appointment that I have here, for example, 27/28. I add the dependency, and you can see that visually, I will be able to see my dependency. Now, if I want to add another one, I will use again the current service appointment, take another appointment that I prepared, and this time I want to do it start after finish. If I add the dependency, you see now that actually you have the dependency visually in front of you, and you can, of course, click Schedule Chain to schedule the whole chain together. If some of them cannot be scheduled, then you will have to take manual actions. Up to 7 levels can be tackled there, so it's really a great improvement compared to the previous item, because before we could only do 2 relations. Now on the field service dispatch console, what do we have right now? I was talking about multi-day work. What you can see directly is that we have long purple boxes on yesterday and on today, so those are jobs that are done for a couple of days now. We have as well a view for those. So in fact, you see that I have here many appointments that are either 1 day or a couple of hours. I have a view that will show me only the multi-day works. So there I can directly see, okay, I have a lot of multi-day job for the next months, actually, it's for the next 5 weeks. And if I want, I can schedule those automatically. I have 4 of them that should be scheduled automatically right now. So we can go ahead and schedule those. And you will see that they will appear here for tomorrow. Tomorrow was an empty day. Too bad for the technician now. He will have to work a little bit tomorrow and the day after. But so those have been scheduled automatically as well. Now I was speaking about one other cool feature that I would like to show today, and it's map polygons. Map polygons are actually allowing you to do geofencing around a couple of territories. So we had service territories, but we were not really doing geofencing. So right now, I will go on Los Angeles. I'm getting a bit of travel today. And I will actually show you all the service appointments on Los Angeles. There are a lot of appointments that will be there. Now the story is that actually I want to see that I'm actually covering different areas of Los Angeles. What I will be able to see is, for example, say that I'm not covering yet the northeast of Los Angeles, and I will create a polygon. So to do this, I will simply go on polygons, create a new one, call it, for example, LA Northeast, save, and I will be able to directly write on the map or draw on the map my polygon. I will assign it to this territory and save. All right, so now this polygon is there for me. What can I do with this actually is 2 things. One of them is actually I can take actions for that area only. So for example, I could schedule all the jobs that are falling in that area. The second thing is that actually I will be as well able to say that any appointment that are falling with an address in that area will automatically be assigned to that service territory. So it's making the job very easy for the dispatcher to know, okay, this team need to cover this service appointment because I drew the polygon correctly. Now, all this is nice, dispatching, it's all good, but we need as well to execute the work. So I will show you a little bit about Android. I will take my Android device here. Now I will open the field service app, and here I'm using an Android device. And I will take my second appointment, the preventive maintenance, to ensure full availability of the motor, of the pump. Couple of things here. The first thing is that, of course, I can see where is my service appointment, and I can get direction. If I click on the get direction, it will help. It will use just the navigation tools that you have on your device. The second thing is that as a technician, when I will arrive on site, I want to know who I need to contact, right? I arrive on site, maybe there are 50 different persons working in that plant. I want to contact the right person to directly go to the right place. So I can call, message, or email that person. I will have also full access to the asset history, really key for our technicians. Why? Because if you see that many times the asset has the same issue, probably you want to replace completely the asset, for example. In this case, I see that actually the efficiency checkup could not be completed, so it's the work order 2401. So that might be the issue today I have with the minor fault that was provided by the IoT device on the motor. The last thing I have here is actually as well a different task that I need to do. I made simple tasks today, so unplug the device, inspect the motor, and so on. I can complete, for example, the first task and say that the status is in progress, for example. Now, a couple of things that are important to note is that our field service technicians, they are quite often in basement or in places where the network is really bad. So what you will do is actually have no network, and I will be offline, and you can see that on the top of the screen. And I will complete a couple of actions. Small difference with iOS is that you will see that the actions are split into work order actions and service appointment actions. I will update the status of my work order and, for example, put it to in progress. So that's the first action I'm doing. Second action, and I love this, is flow. So we had on iOS offline flows, and we offer that as well on Android. Flows are there to guide your technicians in their daily job. So here, it's all about safety. We want to make sure that our technicians are not getting hurt. So actually, I will click on safety check. I will ask a couple of questions. I made it easy today. It's only 2 questions. So is there a risk of injury? And is there a risk of falling? And the risk level will be medium risk. I click next. It will tell me, okay, as you assigned the job, or you said that there are some risk on site, I will ask you a couple of additional questions. Like, do you have your protective equipment with you? And I will say, yes, I have nearly everything, except last time I forgot my shoes. At my last intervention. Don't ask me why, but it's I forgot those. So now it's telling me that my protective equipment is incomplete, But that's fine because a refill order has been automatically created for me, and that will be actually arriving to my van maybe tomorrow. So flows are really important as well. And you see that I still have pending upload. So I was completely offline here, no network at all. If I click on offline pending upload, you can see that I have 2 of them. If I go back online, what will happen is that I don't have even to click on the sync button. All the upload will be automatically done for me. So right now, you see that, okay, that has been synced with the server, available to our dispatchers and so on.
That's amazing. You can do that all offline.
All
just
offline.
Speaking all the times I'm in the tunnel. That's amazing.
It's really important for technicians. I mean, many of our different industries that we are covering, they just simply work in different places, remote places, basement, and so on. Offline is just key. Wow. It's a feature that we want it off absolutely in the app. Now, the last thing I will do today is create my service report. So I will sign. I could have asked Purvi to sign, but okay, I'm signing myself. I like my signature.
That's going to be just fine.
So the service report has been created there, generated, and it could be sent to the customer. Last thing I want to show is that, of course, you have also inventory. So we have the whole flavor of inventory management, product consumption, and so on that is coming into this release as well. So that's it for the demo. I will go back to slide now and speak about what we have on the roadmap. So actually, we have a couple of things that are coming. So indeed, we are doing the release of Android right now. So that will be generally available. But the full parity with iOS will be in Spring 18. We will be able to allow people to consume parts from different inventories. So right now, we are consuming from your van stock. You take parts from your van stock, for example. Now we will be able to take it also from your consignment stock, from customer stocks. We are doing also product return, so RMA, for people that are in manufacturing industries. So it's all about returning products that are damaged, that you don't like anymore, or you are unsatisfied with, and ending the whole process about this. Service Process Manager, so we have already flows and we are guiding already and helping technicians to do their job, but we wanted to go one step further, and that's what we do with Service Process Manager. We want to make it easy for the technician to know, okay, what kind of steps I need to take to complete this work order. So we are guiding him with different actions there. Preventive maintenance, so we have released that, I think, 2 releases or 1 release ago, and we continuously want to improve it. Our customers are using it, they like it, and they want us to improve it, so that's what we will do over the next release. Timesheets, mobile UI, so we had the data model for timesheets, but not yet making it easy for the technicians to complete the timesheet. So we want to make it very easy for the technician to say, okay, what did I do today? Those are the hours I spent on site, on training, and so on. Very easy for him to complete. The big data object for geolocalization was a request from many of our customers. We want to be able to have the history, where the technician went, for safety reason, for legal reason, and so on. So that will be also delivered in the future. And last but not least, Einstein is in many of our products. So we have also the technician next best action, which will also guide our technician in which action they should take to complete the job. And we have much more coming. Just keep in for the next release, you will see us again.
Einstein's everywhere, right?
Einstein is everywhere.
Of course, it has to be in field service lightning as well. And this is so exciting. I mean, I remember working with customers in manufacturing and having to talk them through this process of how they're going to have to build these custom apps to have this offline capability. And the fact that it's so accessible now is incredibly exciting for our customers.
Yes.
So I know our customers are excited and our attendees are excited as well. Elna, do we have any questions about Field Service Lightning?
Oh, we certainly do. I've got some for you, yes. And actually, I'm just loving the ability to make it so easy. The flows, the offline, just making it so easy for those field folks to get their job done. And I can see how much emphasis has been put into that. And it's just like a couple of taps and you're good to go. So that's really great to see. And so we do have quite a few questions, and thank you everybody for posting those questions. The first one is from Kalyan, who's actually posted quite a few questions, so we'll get to all your questions, but I'll just highlight a couple here. The first one is, can I see the service reports in my dev sandboxes?
That's a very good question. Normally you should be able to see it, yes.
All right, let us know if you have an issue.
Yeah.
Richard, is there any way to close the gap between the Northwest and the Northeast territories? He saw that there was a slight gap on the map.
Correct. So for the purpose of the demo, I didn't click on that one because I didn't want to show too many click of and buttons and so on. But basically what you can do is cut intersections. So if you have, for example, two different polygons that are falling on each other, if you right-click and click cut intersections, you will be able to say that now you are cutting exactly the intersections to get it exactly right on your map.
All right, thank you.
Cool.
Jennifer's asking, what is the date of the Android Field Service Lightning app on the Google Play Store?
That's a very good question. I will have to check with the mobile team because I'm not sure we have an exact date, but it will be for Winter 18 definitely.
Yeah, we're somewhat dependent on Google, right, and when they
as they
process those submissions. And then a question from Rick for offline mode. How much and what type of Salesforce data is available when you're offline?
All right, so we are doing the same as for iOS. So basically we are priming related records to the work order, up to 25 of them. So actually what you will have is that we will have really the full flavor of your work order. You will have everything that is related to it, the asset and so on. And I think you can go up to 3 levels down further and you will still be able to access. Now the story is that we don't want to show too much to the technician as well, not to overload the device. So that's why we went for this choice.
Now, does the data have to be something that they've accessed before recently, or could it be something that was assigned to them but they haven't accessed yet?
It's downloaded automatically. So basically what you have is you can give I would say a period of time where the technician will see the service appointment, and based on that he will be able to download automatically all the information related to service appointment and work order falling into that period.
So that's kind of happening behind the scenes while they're online, and then when they go offline, it's available for them.
We make it easy for the technician.
That's smart. And then another question from Kent: is the service signature function available offline?
Service signature is available offline, indeed.
Great. Another from Kalyan: is there any update on the Field Service Lightning SDK?
That's a very good question. It's still on our roadmap, but to be honest, we wanted first to deliver Android and iOS. We wanted to be also on full parity with those two. So the SDK is still on our roadmap, but not yet committed for the next, I would say, 2-3 release. So still work to be done there.
All right. I wonder if we could spend a couple minutes on kind of go back on a couple of questions from the previous sections.
Let's go back. Let's see if there's like 2 or 3 questions that we can go back and revisit.
Great. So I love this one from Sumant. So this is for Vincent. Does Salesforce ever have plans to migrate case teams to Lightning? Because this is something that's important to some customers.
Yes, absolutely. It is on our short-term roadmap. Safe harbor style, but it's definitely something we're looking at.
Okay, and then from Fraser, can you incorporate the completion of a milestone within a macro?
I'd have to look into it. You should be able to connect your milestones to macros, I believe.
All right, so that's something to look into, see if it's possible. It's a
to
great
you.
idea, though, I think. What do you think? Yeah. And then Michael is asking, this is for Purvi, are offline agents available in Omni Supervisor now? Currently, he says, currently I can't see what my agent did yesterday if he's offline right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, offline agents aren't available in Omni Supervisor just because it's a real-time operational dashboard. Although we do have APIs if you want to pull in that data.
All right.
Wonderful. Thank you, Anna, and thank you for those great questions. One thing I do want to mention, and I was thinking about it during the Field Service Lightning demo, is if you're starting to play with Field Service Lightning and you haven't used it yet, you're just getting started with some of these features, there is a new Trailhead trail, and it's called Get on the Road with Field Service Lightning. And there's also a number of new Service Cloud trails. So if you go into Trailhead and you just search for trails and you hit Service Cloud, then you can see there's Discover Advanced Service Cloud features, which is another new trail, as well as Empower Managers and Agents with the Service Cloud platform. So if you didn't write those down really quickly, we'll make sure to share them, I promise.
Also, we do have Readiness Check and our public-facing roadmap for Lightning, which is going to be a great tool. And Readiness Check kind of runs every release. So please go ahead once your winter release is ready and run it and see where you are.
Right. For those of us who maybe you've heard about Lightning Readiness Check and you ran it a year ago and it was looking at a lot of your CRM and your Sales Cloud features. In the last release now we have Service Cloud Lightning Readiness Check. So if you haven't run that yet, run it now. And if you ran it 6 months ago, run it now. There's a great time to run your readiness check. So. Well, with that, thank you all so much for being here. I feel like I learned a lot about Service Cloud. We've got some really exciting features in Winter 18, and the roadmap is so awesome for our Service Cloud customers. And thank all of you for joining us today. It's wonderful to hear your questions. Thank you for engaging with us, for interacting, and we want to continue to hear from you. So please make sure to fill out the survey that you see at the bottom of the screen. It helps us know what you want to see. We do this for you, for our customers, to deep dive into every release. So please take a moment, fill out the survey. I promise it's not very long. And with that, we're wrapping up today's Release Readiness Live for Service Cloud. Make sure to join us tomorrow, same time, same place, for the Platform Release Readiness Live. And I'll see you tomorrow.